I hope you had a very good summer indeed. Welcome back to the World Monoposto Sim Racing Championship 2025. Round 9 brings us to another new venue to the series as we head to the classic circuit of Imola in San Marino. Hope you're all well. Once again, it is just me with our usual co-commentator Robin Tuman on producer duties this afternoon. So wish us both luck as we stifle through the heat and another, hopefully, interesting race this afternoon. So it's been a few weeks. Let's have a little reminder of the standings. Lucas Murno with a dominant victory last time out in Hungary, opening up the gap at the top to 6 points over Pascal Polans, and Polans missing this afternoon, meaning Lucas Murno has a chance to consolidate that lead, but Philip Pushka will be trying to stop him, and there is a super sub debutant in for Vanguard, also looking to try and take points off, with Axel Laflamme also back in his usual spot, hoping to shut the gap to the top 3. Further back, Ruben Meshida obviously leaving SCMM dramatically earlier in the season, meaning he is going to start tumbling down the order, with Gabriel Peckley and Alexander Knezovic getting very close to catching. Misha Smith, Aaron Curtis, and Gino Gajano, who returns after missing Hungary, all rounding out the top 10. In the teams fight, it was interesting lower down the order, in fact, as we saw quite a few teams who'd yet to score points get on the board, notably Infernal Void Racing and Velocita Virtuale. Bravo Snow Shatton, the only team now yet to score, the debutants so close on several occasions. Maybe this afternoon? But looking back up to the top, Vanguard Engineering still in the lead, and they hold that by 9 points from SCM. Cesario, though, with those big upgrades they brought from Hungary, still looking to have something of advantage this afternoon as well. Can they make their way back up to the top? It's going to be a really interesting three-way fight up there. In the meantime, Holland Racing Team leading the best of the rest. United Racing, Lucky Hamish, and Better Julia all getting involved in that fight as well. Potenza, in the meantime, are kind of in that awkward middle ground. Can they look up, or do they have to look behind them and be worried? In terms of the weather this afternoon at Imola, well, there's only rain threat for qualifying. We may not see anything at all, but that consideration for when they get out and get those laps in, a little bit of a peak, 25% of the way through the session. The race, however, should be dry. Now, I believe the session has just been set. In fact, we are just jumping over now by the looks of it. There it is. And we will have 15 minutes of qualifying coming up. And race control has just confirmed the start of the session. And we are good to go. Remember, they no longer qualify on race fuel, so they can get as many flying laps in there. And a big notable moment for the series here, it has to be said, with 23 drivers lining up today. This is the most entrants in a single WMSC and ever. Only one missing seat today. The second Velocita driver not in. But otherwise, look at that tower. We have got so many drivers in, new and old, looking to duel out this afternoon. And leading out, it's Alexander Knezovic for the Holland Racing Team. No, it isn't. Oh, big slide out of Villeneuve there. And the pressure, and there's another car off behind him. Deary me. The pressure of that group of cars and trying to get round and get a flying lap in. Immediately causing problems there. Cold tyres out of Varianti Villeneuve. And now Lucas Murno to the point, who will look to set the first flying lap. Usually it's Pascal Polans who makes sure he gets himself out at the head of the queue. But obviously not here this afternoon on holiday. The super sub is the Vanguard team boss himself, Kevin Peters. Now, Kevin is a seasoned driver, very quick driver. He's raced in previous events such as the Sim Racing 500, raced in the American Monoposto Championship. He's no slouch, and as a personal target, he's aiming for the top 5. He's looking to jump in his own car and do quite well indeed. He knows there's a few people who might be slightly beyond his reach, but keep an eye out for the team boss making his WMSC debut this afternoon as he looks to help his team maintain the Constructors' lead and hopefully try and negate the advantage that Lucas Murno will gain without the main contender of Pascal Polens being there. But on board with Lucas Murno, out of Toza, heading the hill through the gentle turn 8, then to turn 9 Piratella. Imola, notoriously tight circuit for these cars. Head through Acqua Minerale, out through 13. And then the tricky chicane, Variante Alta. Will this claim any casualties this afternoon? Two big sausage curbs on the inside, and I feel like Murno clatters the inside of the first corner quite hard there. Be interesting to see how much time he's lost as we head through the Rivazzas. Out through turn 18. Technically not the last corner, as this little gentle wheel move to the right is turn 19. And that's the benchmark. 1 minute 20 dead almost, with a bit of change. Axel Flam in the meantime coming behind 1.3 seconds off, so it's still a very solid lap despite that slightly untidy portion of the lap. Here comes Philip Pushka though in the SCMM. How will he do? He's currently down by a second in the first sector, much closer in the middle sector. Where does this put him? And Pushka does slot in 1.2 seconds, though. That is an ominous gap so far. Here's Kevin Peters, but immediately, with a little bit of traffic, he's got a better Julia in the way. Gets a little bit of a toe out of there. Are they going to race each other? No, I think the better Julia thinks better of it. Come to the exit of Rivatza. Kevin Peters is looking a little bit closer over the course of the lap. He could slot into second place here. Oh, he doesn't. So, into third, though. Into fourth, I should say. Diogo Meneghetti, though, has absolutely put in a stonking lap there in the Potenza. And he gets ahead of Peters. And actually, you wonder if the track evolution is kicking in here. How much quicker is Murno going to go? This is into the 119s. Surely it is by 7/10 of a second. Laflamme, despite being purple in the middle sector, decides to bail out. Pushka, though, purple in the middle sector. And you can see the skies are darkening a little bit. Track wetness is 0 to 5%, but no rainfall at the moment. So that potential shower might be manifesting at the minute. Pushka stays out. How much closer can he get? The gap is under a second to Murno for the first time. It's ominous stuff so far. As Murno is out again, and purple once again. Gabriel Peckley, though, in the other Cesario, has currently helped lock out the front row. As Murno charging to consolidate his advantage. He's 7/10 of a second up on himself at the moment. This is frightening stuff from Murno, who's looking for his first ever WMSC championship, the first champion who won't be Janis Volborn driving for Holland Racing Team. And despite that, he bails out. He knows he's got that in his back pocket. That is quite ominous indeed. Here comes Pushka, though. Can he get back on the front row? Oh, he tries to put the power down while on the curb, coming out of Variante Alta. And that's that lap done, despite being purple in the middle sector by half a second, by the looks of it. So, Pushka might have a right to reply, but that is not considering what Murno's got still up his sleeve. In the meantime, Thiago Mello, a debutant this afternoon for Bravo Snow Shatton during the summer break. João Fernando, unfortunately, was announced that he would be out for the season due to personal reasons. So enter Thiago Mello this afternoon for Bravo Snow Shatton. It was a completely different lineup last time for Bravo Snow Shatton. They had Renata Riveda in as their only driver as a one-off sub, but other regular Gustavo Fragoto, who's been the closest chance they've had of points so far this season, also returns. It would be good to see what Mello does. And at the minute, he's on an improvement. In the meantime, here comes Kevin Peters. And here's Kevin Peters. He's just gone fastest. Absolutely incredible. By 0.4 of a second. Where has that come from? What an incredible lap from Kevin Peters. And now Murno has to respond. And the order getting slightly messed up a little bit there. We've got Denny Vella up in fourth. Gajano sticks it into third. The track is getting quicker. In the meantime, here comes Axel Flam, who'll be disappointed down in ninth, but he's up by 0.4 of a second in the first sector. We are about to see an absolute scramble up the top. And it's going to be important to time the laps right. 0.6 in the middle section. Just taking a healthy amount of those sausage curbs. And the Flam might be on provisional pole here. He does have a car ahead. Hopefully that's not going to get in his way. Out of the second, Rivazza. And actually, no issue there at all. Is this provisional pole for Axel Flam? It is. We're into the 117s. But we are not done by any stretch of the imagination. Enter Lucas Murno. 0.2 in Sector 1. Almost 0.3 in Sector 2. This could be him returning to the top. Out of the second, Rivazza. He's going to get a nice, healthy little bit of toe as well for good measure. Not that he needs it. Into the 116s, a second clear of Laflamme. Meantime, Gabriel Joubert returning after missing the race last time out. Up in fourth for Lucky Hamish Racing. There were some testing simulations run between the cars during the summer break. Lucky Hamish Racing, in theory, might be the fourth fastest car here this afternoon. And Gabriel Joubert, despite that mistake coming through Piratella, is looking to show that. Teammate Vela also in the top 10. Lucky Hamish Racing might be on for some good points this afternoon if they can convert that. In the meantime, Laflamme bails out by being on two personal bests. Knezovic down by a second in Sector 1. Heckley's just shot up to fourth. Here comes Gustavo Frigoto for Bravo Snow Shatton. As mentioned, their closest opportunity for getting points so far this season. 11th on one occasion and 12th on 3 different occasions. Just missing out on the all-important top 10 spot. He's slower than his personal best. To Sector 1 at the moment. There's some work to do there. And Peckley only 0.2 down after the first sector. Really important for Peckley to get a good result here. The Constructors' title is so close between Vanguard, SCMM and Cesario. And Cesario, despite seemingly having the edge of performance on track at the moment, are in third. So they need to pick up the points while the wind is blowing in their direction. Is this going to be an improvement? Is this going to break the top 3? It is an improvement. It doesn't break the top 3 though. Peckley stays fourth. Just behind Pushka and Laflamme. In the meantime, Lucas Murno. Oh, he's finding his limits now. Slower in the middle sector. After a purple first sector. Sun seemingly coming back out, so that threat of a shower has dissipated. Murno in. In the meantime, Peters stays out. Is this back into the top 5? Even better, it's the top 3. Just behind his driver and teammate, Axel Laflamme. So many names charging up and down the order at the moment. We'll try and have a look at as many people as we can, but obviously it's frenetic, this fight at the front. And Laflamme is looking to shut that gap, consolidate his place on the first row. See how far down he is. 0.2 in Sector 2, so it's good pace from Axel Laflamme. Catching up with team boss Kevin Peters beforehand. He's hoping that Laflamme is going to be, at very least, in second this afternoon, so it's a high target. It's an improvement. 0.7 to Murno. Remaining second for now. Knežević out again, half a second down already, but looking to improve ahead. Really solid consistency this season. Unfortunately, suffered his first DNF of the season last time out in Hungary. But there's a slight curse on Alexander Knežević in Budapest, it seems. 2 years in a row he's raced at that circuit. He's had 2 disconnects each time and ended up having his first retirement of the season. But otherwise, a really, really solid season for him. Very consistent, qualifying no lower than 10th. Consistently in the points up until last time out. Can he improve here? He stays 6th for now. Would be his 3rd consecutive 6th place qualifying in a row, should he stay there. In the meantime, though, less than 2 minutes to go. People are going to be gearing up for their final runs. And here is Lucas Murno, 0.3 up in the first sector. To go on board through the exit of Aqua Minerale. Towards the end of Sector 2 before hard on the brakes for Variante Alta. He's up by just 0.02 of a second. Rides the curb nicely through there. He's finding the pace. Oh, and there is an update on rain. We are at 5% rain. So we might see a little dip at the crucial moment. So very important for everyone to get their times in now. Murno heads to the line. An improvement. Absolutely, 1 minute 16.2. And he's restored his gap of a second, despite being slower in the final sector. Here comes Denny Vella. What can he do for Lucky Hamish? Good potential in the car this afternoon, it seems. Him and Joubert time their laps well. He's not far off. 2 personal bests in the first 2 sectors. Just the final Ravazza to go. 30 seconds left in the session. Here comes Denny Vella. Where's it going to put him? It's up 1 place to 7th. He splits the HRTs. Laflamme in the pits. He stays where he is. In the meantime, Filip Puška, with 15 seconds left to go, starts a final flying lap. Can Puška get himself onto the front row of the grid? He's still got quite a gap to make up to Murno as well. 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. He's not done with it yet, and obviously wants to do everything he can to help SCMM in the Constructors as well. Team boss Gino Gagliano also driving again since they lost Ruben Meshida earlier in the season. He's currently sat in 11th. Sector 1, though, has not been ideal for Filip Puška. And is the track suddenly starting to turn away at the crucial moment? In any other circumstances, crossing the line with 15 seconds to go in qualifying would be a fabulous thing to do, but the conditions have said otherwise, and I think Puška might have to settle for 3rd here. And similar situation for Peckley. He will not improve from 5th. As you can see, I think that was Puška diving out the way. And that is very much that. So, here are your provisional qualifying results then. There are a couple of penalties to be observed from previous infringements, but we will run over those in a second. So, Lucas Murno, is on pole position by a second from Axel Laflamme. Philip Pushka third. Kevin Peters debut, the team boss, in fourth. He'll be very happy with that, ahead of Gabriel Pecchi in the other Cesario. Knežević sixth, ahead of Denny Vella. Then Misha Smith and Gabriel Joubert, their teammates, following in formation just behind. Diogo Meneghetti qualifies 10th, but will have a 10-place grid penalty for a registration infringement. Then it's Gino Gagliano in 11th, who also has a 10-place grid penalty for registration infringement. In 12th, Paolo Bellamy, who also has a 10-place grid penalty for a registration infringement. So that's very good news for Daniel Benton-Reader, who will technically start 10th then, with Harley Self, Aaron Curtis, João Marcos Angeli, and Mateus Machado just in behind. Gustavo Frigoto qualifying 18th ahead of Dominic Rustemeyer. Maxime Berlioz making his third ever WMSC Super Sub appearance in 20th. Thiago Melo 21st on his debut, ahead of Jean Palaro and Maximilian Jaeger, qualifying in 23rd for Better Julia. So, the biggest field WMSC has ever seen will go racing in around 10 minutes. Don't go anywhere. Lights out at Imola very soon. Welcome back to the World Monoposto Sim Racing Championship 2025, round 9 from Imola in San Marino. And we are about to jump into the race session to get underway. Lucas Murno with a dominant pole position. Just waiting for the jump across now. I believe there's going to be no formation lap today. So then we'll get started. In the meantime, Lucas Murno, though, on pole, as mentioned, ahead of Axel Laflamme for Pushka. Kevin Peters in for Pascal Polens this afternoon. Gabriel Pecchi fifth. Sorry, just had a message from Race Control on my ear that caused my brain to glitch. Apologies. Kevin Peters in for Pascal Polens. A fine fourth in his debut ahead of Pecchi. Then it's the Holland Racing Team and Lucky Hamish cars in formation. Knežević, Vella, Smith and Joubert. Diogo Meneghetti qualifies 10th, but will have a 10-place grid penalty, as will Gino Gagliano and Paolo Bellamy. So Benton-Reader is 10th, Self 11th, Curtis 12th, Angeli 13th, Machado 14th, Frigoto 15th, Dominic Rustemeyer is 16th, Maxime Berlioz 17th, and then on the final page, Thiago Melo 18th, Palaro 19th. Those penalty drivers will slot in, and Maximilian Jaeger, the only driver not to benefit, starting 23rd. So we will wait as the cars drop onto the grid. As mentioned, no formation lap. Final checks. The final ready up. A couple more cars to go. Missing in their spots. Now confirmation on the tower of the penalties. The revs go up. The lights come on. And they go out in San Marino. We are underway. It's a really good start from Laflamme, but to the extreme inside goes Murno and holds on as we stream down into turn 1 to Tamburello. Everyone through side by side, a very tight run through this corner, but everyone seems to be through okay. It's Murno from Laflamme, from Pushka, from Peters, Pecchi, Knežević. Great start from Joubert, who's already up to 6th. In fact, he's just gotten past Knežević as well. An incredible start from Gabriel Joubert. There is a yellow flag in sector 1. We'll see what that is in a moment, but as it stands, everyone coming through toes. Oh, and there's a HRT very sideways there. That looked like Smith potentially dropping a place. Here's Denny Vella, a little bit wide. Oh, lots of mistakes in this first lap, and it's so important to try and get the places here because it's difficult to overtake around this circuit. Remember, no DRS, no push to pass. They've got to do it the old-fashioned way. And Vella drops behind Knežević. Yellow flags are cleared, though, as we wait for the tyres to get up to temperature. But MARINO leads from Laflamme, both opting for the medium tyre to begin with. While Philip Puška goes with the hards as an alternate strategy. And there was a racing incident between Gino Gajano and Jean Palauro. No further action. Both drivers still running. Paolo Wallami and Marco Sangeli into the pits by the looks of it, though, for first lap incidents. Stands. It's been a perfect start for Lucas MARINO. Axel Laflamme into second, trying to stick with MARINO. He's got Puška just behind. See how different the tyre strategies play out in a few laps as well. How quickly will the mediums go off? In the meantime, here's Mateus Machado in 18th. Beaulieu is dropping down the order. I think Beaulieu might have been in the wall just by... Oh, he's just coming out of Villeneuve. I think he's had an incident there. And Maxime Beaulieu, who's been something of a super sub, raced for two different teams and scored points both times. Subbing in for Vella cheated this afternoon. Unfortunately, he is missing a rear wing and he's trying to keep going as quickly as possible. I think he's maybe trying a little bit too quickly. Doesn't want to cause any more damage than he already has. Just trying to get the car around now. And that is not an ideal start. In the meantime, backstop Gabriel Joubert up to 5th. He's ahead of Peckley. Gabriel Joubert has had a sensational start, starting 9th. And unfortunately, Gustavo Fragoso and Marco Sangeli have had a 5-second penalty. Maxime Beaulieu has a 10-second penalty for causing multiple collisions. So there has been some moments there. In the meantime, Joubert getting caught in the dirty air behind Kevin Peters. What an interesting train of cars. This is Kevin Peters' debut racing in WMSC, the team boss of Vanguard, driving for the first time behind, with Gabriel Joubert for Lucky Hamish Racing, who's really doing an incredible job so far this afternoon. Then Peckley and Vella in the other Lucky Hamish car. Their pace, very impressive. And actually, Joubert looking to maybe try and take advantage of Peter's, newness to the series. Newness to the series. He's been involved in WMSC all the way through. First time in a race situation, though. Peckley there, almost losing it off the curb. We've had a few of those moments. In the meantime, Joubert, though, he's really struggling, being so close, and he's lost the place now. Being in the dirty air, and he just didn't make any compensations for it. And this is going to be the issue with trying to make moves around here this afternoon. Dirty air a couple of times already, causing Gabriel Joubert problems, and that time it cost him a place. Peckley up to 5th, and Kevin Peters will especially want to keep Peckley behind him, as he knows they are a big threat for the Constructors' title, which Vanguard currently leads. He wants to maximise points for his team this afternoon. Lucky Hamish, both drivers in the points so far, and a solid start to their afternoon indeed. So, as it stands, we've got side by side coming up into Variante Alta, and Jaeger, who started last, already up to 14th because of the chaos, ahead of Self, who is racing for Infernal Void rather than his usual Velocita this afternoon. Self is looking pretty racy at the minute. Through Rivatsa we go. Oh, but again, similar to Peckley on that curve. They're so desperate to get the power down, knowing that this is probably one of the best opportunities to make a move on the circuit. Needs the slipstream alone. He's going to get sent to the outside as we head towards Villeneuve. And tucks back in, and then tries to move it to the inside. Oh, clever idea. Didn't quite work there. And he's stuck behind another lap. Self looking racy. Can he force a mistake from Jaeger? Very close together indeed. In the meantime, just up the road, Benton Reader, the other better Julia, is desperately trying to get past Fragoto, who has a penalty, remember. Side by side, through Piratella. Very respectful stuff from both of them, both being on the road. Dicing and swapping through Aqua Minerale. Benton Reader feels like he's being maybe held up a little bit by Bravo Snow Shatton. Gonna have to try and again nail the exit from this second Rivatsa. There is better chance. Over the curb we go, and that's a very tidy exit indeed. Try and keep an eye in the background as well, as we're probably going to have Self making a move as well. Self is even closer, in fact. And Self this time goes straight to the inside. That's good. Has he got the straight line speed to do it? No, as soon as he gets out of the slipstream, Velocita just doesn't seem to have the straight line speed to be able to get it. And in the meantime, just ahead, well, someone else did. The better Julia clearly had the straight line speed. As Benton Reader is through on Fragoto. And already up by a second, Benton Reader on the charge this afternoon. Can he cup another point for better Julia? A lot of interesting fighting going on early doors. Self at the minute is climbing all over the back of the other better Julia, of Maximilian Jaeger. He's going to have to get creative. He's so close here. The problem is, when he moves out of the slipstream, if he doesn't have the straight line speed, what's he going to do? He's going to have to go brave on the brakes. That's always going to be a closing gap, but that's very smart indeed. He's managed to just unsettle Maximilian Jaeger through Variante Alta and switch back on the exit. That's a very smart move indeed. The problem is now, he does have Jaeger right behind him, and as we saw, the Infernal Void might not have the straight line speed. And there's a penalty for Mateus Machado for causing a collision down in 18th. In the meantime, though, has Self done enough? He's going to send Jaeger to the outside, and he's held on for now. And a great bit of fighting between these two. Clever move by Harley Self. The question is he going to have the pace to be able to shake Jaeger? As long as he's in slipstream, he's going to struggle to do so. The gap is looking a little bit healthier up the hill, though, as we go through Piratella. This is a solid drive. Remember, Self scoring points for Velocita last time out. Velocita's first points of the season. Self seems to have got the job done. How much further forward can he go? In the meantime, Knežević has gone backwards down the order. He's dropped down to 9th behind teammate Smith. He's under pressure from Gino Gajano. Another team boss racing this afternoon. And he's looking to go around the outside. Gajano very, very ambitious, but that was always going to run out of room, I think. Trying to make the most of being on the medium tyres compared to Knežević's hards. And it's been quite close quarters stuff so far. In certain parts of the field anyway. Not for Lucas Murno. 4 seconds at the top, at the front. He is picking up where he left off. But further down the order, there are a couple of battles going on. jump on though Gabriel Peckley, who benefited from Jubert getting caught in the dirty air and has managed to hold on to this 5th place and pulled a little bit of a gap. In fact, Weller and Jubert have switched positions on the road, and Weller has now gotten clear of Jubert. But Peckley is now going to try and pressurise Kevin Peters. Down to Jaeger now. And we've got Diogo Meneghetti trying to get past the United Racing Club car of Dominic Rustermeier. Rustermeier a little bit further down on where he has been previously this season. And he's having to fight really hard for this one. Meneghetti looking racy. And he's tucked under the rear wing. He's going to again get sent to the outside. We're going to see a lot of this dicing into Villeneuve this afternoon. And it's well defended by Rustermeier on this occasion, but Meneghetti is not giving that up. And he is so close. And doing a very good job at keeping the car pointed in the right direction with that dirty air. Oh, say that, there's a little bit of a slide coming out. Trying to make something happen up to Piratella. Oh, it's such a tight corner. Nose to tail through Aqua Minerale. Both wide though on through the exit. Pressure telling. And this could be a chance for Meneghetti. But this is going to be very tight into the chicane. Oh, and he sends it. And I think Rustermeier was very smart to not defend it too hard. Meneghetti through. And he's got the pace of those two at the moment. But a good move from him. And, you know, fears of overtaking round here. Very tight circuit is Imola. But we've seen people make the moves. Good stuff so far. Meantime, Gino Gajano trying to make something happen and get closer to the HRTs ahead. Charge towards Aqua Minerale now with Daniel Benton Reader. And and a big slide from Harley South. Oh, what caused that? What an odd place to lose it. That's coming out of Piratella, it seems. And all that work he did to get past Maximilian Jaeger has just been undone with a bit of an unforced error. He's kept it out of the wall. He's still going. He's got Meneghetti, though, pushing behind him. But an odd moment there. Oh, but he's straight passed through. I wonder if Jaeger cut the chicane there. So there was a little bit of a puff of like gravel. I wonder if Jaeger maybe missed his braking point and had to lift off to avoid a track limits penalty. And that has compromised him, not just with Harley South, but seemingly with Diogo Meneghetti as well. Meneghetti is looking up to Villeneuve, and you've obviously got Self in the way, whose straight line speed isn't the best. Meneghetti's on a charge. Self has now got to redo all the work he's just done. He's going to look at the inside. Oh, we had half a look at the inside of Tosa, but thought against it. Really lively stuff from Diogo Meneghetti in the Potenza. Is he going to look again up towards Variante Alta? Doesn't look quite as close this time. Jaeger this time very much on the limit there. A Self tries to eke out that gap. Bellamy in the meantime into the pits for Magnum Motorsports. If I remember rightly, he was in with an early pit stop due to damage. Beaulieu is, I don't know if that's a glitch if they're still in the pits. or not. But in the meantime, Meneghetti's so close as we come past the start, finish straight. But again, can't seem to make the move done. And it may not be, may not necessarily be an issue with Infernal Void straight line speed. It may just be the fact that the better Julia is very good in a straight line, because similarly, as soon as the Potenza got out of the slipstream, they were struggling. Oh, and Meneghetti, little wheel tap there, trying to unsettle. And he's looking racy, but can't get too racy or too touchy. You could easily overstep with one wrong move. You can tell he really fancies this. Oh, and this caught off guard there. The different closing speeds, and that means Jaeger is safe for this approach to the chicane. Turns 14 and 15. Rustamai is being brought back into the picture with this fight as well. Meneghetti, oh, he gets a very good exit there, and he's tucked up behind the rear wing again. So, in the slipstream, moves out, but the better Julia just is able to power forward. And Meneghetti frustrated once again. Tell you what, it's lucky that for Harley South that Jaeger had that corner cutting moment, because otherwise he'd be stuck behind him again too. It certainly wouldn't have been as easy as it was. Meneghetti looking really fast, really planted through the corners. Just cannot seem to make it happen through the straights towards Aqua Minerale. Both tidy through there this time. Oh, he gets the much better exit. He's going to get shown to the outside. Can't go around there this time. Well placed Jaeger. Even though we're at Imola, it's got shades of Mansell versus Senna and Monaco, the way he's climbing over the back. Oh, but brilliant little move. Just catches him off guard into Ravazza 1. And that's very well done by Diogo Meneghetti. Very smart little move. Gotta get creative, especially when straight line speed isn't on your side, and he's got just enough. It seems to keep Jaeger behind. Look at how much they've closed as well, and Rustamai's right with them as well. But Meneghetti, as soon as we get through the corners, Meneghetti looks planted and quick. And the gap is starting to open out, and now, up the road, going to chase Harley South. Rustamai next in line. In the meantime, oh, Gino Gajano without a front wing. He was chasing Alexander Knezovic. But now Gino Gajano will have to pit. And that is going to hurt his chances at points this afternoon. In the meantime, South is trying to chase Frigoto now. Frigoto with a 5-second penalty from earlier. Both of these two inheriting a place due to Gajano's incident. Self looking to take another one. He's closing speed really quick there. He's going to try and send it round the outside. Oh my goodness, he almost does it as well. Brilliant car control to keep it in it. He's lost speed though, side by side. They're going to do it again up towards Villeneuve. And he's got it done. Absolutely incredible from Harley South. That was an absolutely brilliant move. Very respectful racing from Frigoto as well. Well done to both of them. But brave and bold and brilliant from Harley South. And he's up to 12th. He's got 11 seconds up the road though. Daniel Benton Reader. And about 12-ish to Curtis and a point. Could it be done? Still a long way to go, but Really racy stuff from Harley Self this afternoon. Really good. In the meantime, here is Benton Reader, who is trying to himself into that final points-paying position. Aaron Curtis in the United Racing Club are the target. It's a very interesting turn in form. Oh, and Joubert in the pits. Joubert in the pits. He was on the medium tyre. Is this a scheduled stop? Seems like quite a long one. Dropping a long way down the order indeed. In the meantime, Frigoto going to has lost that, I believe, lost that place to Meneghetti. Meneghetti is pushing. Frigoto not looking quite as racy as he has previously. Joubert is still in the pits. He's out now and has switched from the medium to the hard tyre. But I do wonder, with the length of that stop, if something else had happened. Because that was a very, very long time for just the tyre stop. But he's got free rein on tyre choice now. Have to use 2 different compounds of the 3 available, soft, medium, hard. In the meantime, Jean Palauro is up to Maximilian Jaeger. The Infernal Voids making good forward progress. Obviously having a moment on the exit curb there, but keeping it together. In the meantime, Meneghetti has caught Harley Self. There's forward progress and there's forward progress, and Diogo Meneghetti has got the bit between his teeth, it seems. Meneghetti just arrived wide over Piratella. Seen a couple of people struggle with the dirty air, but Meneghetti so far hadn't until that point. Running nose to tail with some cars, and doing it expertly. Just staying on the right side of the line as well. And unfortunately, is a penalty for Mello on his debut. And it's one that has been given to debutants quite a few times, but we'll come back to that in a moment. Diogo Meneghetti in the slipstream and gets the move done into turn 1. That's a little bit more textbook as we'd expect. And Meneghetti's up to 11th now. Obviously, some people having stopped to repair damage. Here comes Palauro trying to make something happen. And Jaeger, we already know now the straight line speed is going to be an issue. Here comes Gino Gagliano trying to recover from having lost a front wing. Dominic Rustavar just behind. In the meantime, Palauro not letting up here. They do have company, though, in the form of a front runner by the looks of it just behind them. Oh, no, I don't. That might be Gagliano, actually. Oh, no, that is a front runner. Yes, through they go. Very respectably done. But yes, Gagliano 7 seconds to wind in. Getting confused between the red cars there. So here comes Palaro again. He's going to have a similar issue to Self in the fact that as soon as he comes out of the slipstream, not going to have quite the oomph he needs. He tries to do a little bit of a switching move just before they get to braking zone. Not this time. Maximilian Jaeger very much feeling like he's going to have deja vu this afternoon for the amount of times he's had an infernal void all over his rear wing. Oh, and Palaro just getting caught out there. And a little bit of respite for now. In the meantime, Denny Vella is in. Is this our first scheduled stop for the medium runners up the front? I think so. That seems like a much quicker pit stop. And I think Vella has decided to trade medium for medium on this occasion. No one else currently running in the 10 has stopped. We'll look to see what the offset is for those hard runners. We're looking at around 20 laps for the mediums. That suggests a 2-stop race. But will the hard runners try and extend? Can they make it a 1-stop? We will see. Palaro. In the meantime, oh, and Jaeger misses his braking point into turn 1. For the second time this afternoon, he gives away a cheap place. In fact, it's 2 cheap places. Gajano through. As he tries to do with his recovery. Looking very stylishly sliding through Toza there, Gino Gajano. Got some traffic up ahead, and then he's going to try and attack Jean Palaro. Take the 14th place that he's just worked so hard to obtain. And we've got Benton Reader in for the pits now. Menegretti will temporarily into the top 10. Oh, and there was an incident noted between Peckley and Peters. No further action, which I'm not sure when that was from, because it seems like they've held pretty uniform gap to each other for the most part. In the meantime, we've got Benton Reader coming out at the worst possible moment, and he's had to tuck behind Gino Gajano. Benton Reader on the medium tyres. He's going to be looking to go quicker. There's traffic up ahead, but oh, they've had to sweep back onto the racing line. I think that's the Velocita of Beaulieu. And Beaulieu still hasn't moved out of the way there. This isn't for position. Benton Reader needs to just be let go. He'll be slightly frustrated with that, I think. Is that Rustenmeyer behind it? Oh, Beaulieu is trying to get back past. Beaulieu is determined to try and salvage his afternoon after the early damage and the penalty. And Benton Reader suddenly backing off. What a mad couple of corners there. In the meantime, though, Gino Gajano right at the back of Jean Palaro now. How easy will this be? Surely there's the power in the SCMM to get past. Uses the slipstream. Round he goes. Back up to 12th. Gajano has not been up on points yet. But 14 seconds up the road. Harley Self. Oh. In the meantime, Beaulieu still trying to recover his afternoon. All of these midfield runners trying to get in the tail end of the points. Where there is, oh, Rustemeyer has just instantly DNF. And that might be a disconnect. Dominic Rustemeyer, the driver who has signed a 1-year contract extension with United Racing Club, will be with them next year. Might be our first retirement. In the meantime, our first pit stop from the leaders. Axel Laflamme in. And Peckley is in as well. It's a 10-second time penalty for Berlioz for ignoring blue flags and dangerous driving. I think can't be too many arguments about that, really. But lap 24, 2 medium runners in for a set of hards. Laflamme and Peckley. We'll see how Murnau responds. In the meantime, Peckley is just going to come out behind Smith. Not ideal for him. Will cost him some time. And obviously he was close to Kevin Peters. And Peckley will be attempting the undercut. And the problem is now, he's not going to be able to do that if he's stuck behind Misha Smith for too long, which explains why he's so keen to try and get through as quickly as possible. Looking up for a move up to Aqua Minerale shows how desperate he is. There's a bit of debris by the looks of it there. And there's where it was from. I'm not sure who that was. Is that a Lucky Hamish? It's Joubert. Ah, such a shame for Joubert. Such an incredible start. A good qualifying, up as high as 5th. And then obviously he had some damage before that needed to be repaired. And he's had another incident. And now he's damaged and down in 16th. In the meantime, Peckley has managed to get the move done on Misha Smith. Peckley's got a push now. Here is Kevin Peters. Obviously a slight offset in strategy here because Peckley was on the mediums while Peters is running the hard. So Peters is going to run longer. There is a good chance that Peckley will achieve the undercut. It's just that will Peters be able to attack back on the mediums and with fresher tyres, use that tyre offset to his advantage. But currently up in a net P3. His teammate has stopped. 6.7 seconds behind. As it stands, Lucas Murnau is unmoved by Axel Laflamme's pit stop. He continues to lead out the front. In the meantime, Pushka on the hards is also going to be extending. He can bring himself back into this fight. Now, Peckley is very quickly put up with the other Holland Racing Team car of Alexander Knežević. Joubert's been given a penalty there. I think that's automatically by the game because he's just come out of the pits. So I think that's a pit lane speeding penalty. And Gabriel Joubert's afternoon going from bad to worse after such a promising start. In the meantime, Peckley has really reeled in the gap now to Knežević. Where can he make the move? Tucks right up under the rear wing. Knežević is going to try and defend the inside of Piratella. Oh my goodness. But the speed of the Cesario means that he's able to just get far enough ahead and sweep round. Very bold from Gabriel Peckley. Very, very efficient and clinical. Peckley is up to 5th and now in clear air. That's what he needs. In the meantime, Axel Laflamme sets a new fastest lap of the race on the hard tyre, but obviously lighter fuel loads now as it burns off. And Laflamme, despite there being a healthy gap between Murnau and himself. They're on the same tyre strategy. But he's clearly trying to push and maybe worry Murno about the undercut, potentially. Get him thinking at least a little bit. There's an incident with Pushka, Smith and Knezovic that was just noted as an incident. I imagine that is a blue flags incident based on the relative position of those cars. In the meantime, Mateus Machado, we've seen a lot of action from one contender this afternoon. Here's the other one. And once again, the man they're trying to pass, as has been the case several times, is Maximilian Jaeger. Both dive out the way for a leading car very respectfully. In the meantime, Marcus Angeli, Paolo Willarmi, the two Magnums together. We've not seen them loads this season. Both missing last time out as well, but they are running together, both in the top 20 and both fighting each other. Marcus Angeli to the inside. Willarmi chopping back across. One rule, don't take each other out. Keeping it respectful there. They go charging up the road. Good to see both the Magnums racing again. We have, of course, picked up points this season. Paolo Willarmi with 3 points. Hopefully there's more with some well-timed upgrades. A bit of luck. In the meantime, Denny Vella, Lucky Hamish Racing. Obviously, his teammate Joubert out of the race. Not out of the race, but out of contention, I should say, for points after a couple of incidents. Vella's still up there and chasing down Misha Smith. Notable though, Vella has stopped, Smith hasn't. Slightly fresher hard tires on there by about 29 laps or so. Meantime, LaFlamme is catching his boss, Kevin Peters. I imagine Peters will not make this difficult. And no, Vella close to Smith, making the most out of that rubber. Move done. Denny Vella is up to 6th. In the meantime, Lucas Murno is in the pits for his stop. He's extended this medium tyre run to lap 30. But I imagine that is going to be a one-stop race for him. Just reaching half distance. In the meantime, LaFlamme is still behind Peters. I wonder if the move is going to get done round here. Because obviously they're on different strategies. You know, LaFlamme is moving quicker and on newer hard tyres. Surprisingly, they are still in formation. Murno in and out comfortably though, not troubled by that undercut attempt. In the meantime, Meneghetti currently running in the points, yet to stop though. Making moves, pushing really well. Now trying to get the move on Aaron Curtis, the United Racing Club car. Approach the Rivazzas once again. And there has been a 10-second time penalty for Marcos Angeli for causing collision with debutant Thiago Melo. So an unfortunate Fortunate penalty for him further down the order, but he is the last car running as well. Only a second behind Joubert. In the meantime, Pushka is in. Pushka, who started on the hards and is switching to the mediums. So it's quite a long stint for those mediums to the end of the race. But considering, Lucas Murno's just run 30 laps on his, it's not impossible. But I did expect Pushka to run a little bit longer, I must admit. Kevin Peters is now the only one of that top 5 that has yet to stop. You can see Laflamme is passed and already 4 seconds up the road from him. Rejoin the battle with Meneghetti and Curtis. Meneghetti looking a little bit closer this time. Less than half a second coming out of the Rivazza. Murno immediately firing in a fastest lap. Now he's got fresh rubber on. Head and shoulders above the competition this afternoon. Meneghetti, though, in search for points. Showed really good pace this afternoon. Didn't quite put it together in qualifying. After starting 20th. That was after. Oh, no, it wasn't. My brain is absolutely switched off there. He qualified 10th, but obviously he had a 10th place grid penalty, but has done an incredible job at working his way back up through the order. Apologies, Diogo Meneghetti. A lapse in my commentary notes there. I just saw the number 20 and it's like, oh yeah, he qualified lower down. No, he didn't. Qualified quite well, but obviously serving a registration penalty. He's essentially made those 10 places back up at this point. Looking to get up to 9th, but does have a stop to make. So still plenty of work to do for him if he wants to pick up something this afternoon. He is close. But it doesn't look close enough this time. United Racing Club car is not a slouch. Through Villeneuve we go. Ooh, a little bit of a snap there. Having a little bit of trouble getting as close to Aaron Curtis as he has with other cars. I was saying that now he is getting tucked up under the rear wing towards Piratella. I'll be looking at the move here. Can he slingshot out of Aqua Minerale? Good exit though from Curtis. Meneghetti letting off the throttle. The Vanguard comes charging through. Now obviously Curtis has to do the same. They'll compromise their speed on the run up to Rivazza. And that's allowed Meneghetti to get very close indeed. And Curtis going a bit sideways through Rivazza 1. Tucked up in the slipstream. This is a big opportunity for Meneghetti. To the inside. Has he got the straight line speed out of the slipstream? They're side by side. No, he's going to have to tuck back in. He's going to have to try again. No, leaves the nose in to try and unsettle Curtis, but Curtis positions the car well. There's nowhere for Meneghetti to go, even though he probably had the exit speed coming out of Tamburello through Villeneuve. And then into Tosa once again. Almost nose to tail. Oh, a little bit of a slide from the dirty air. Curtis survives. The gaps have been quite substantial, it has to be said, within the cars in the top 10, but for the cars lower down the order, when there's close enough pace, we've seen a few creative moves to really try and make things happen. from some drivers this afternoon. Diogo Meneghetti, one of them. Harley Self having a good go, making a few moves as well. So it's been good in terms of overtaking action, considering how tight Imola is. How difficult it is with open-wheel racing cars, and Meneghetti slingshots into Ravazza 1. That's a brilliant move indeed. Curtis, though, getting a little bit unsettled in the dirty air of Ravazza 2, and as a result, Diogo Meneghetti might survive, but the straight line speed plus the slipstream, Curtis is coming back. Closer, closer, closer. The closing speed is terrifying. And now Meneghetti has got to make it work through the chicanes and pull the gap, because in a straight line with slipstream, I should say, Aaron Curtis could go back through. They will have to let off the throttle, though, as the other vanguard, Kevin Peters, comes through. Can he use that opportunity to potentially come back? Oh, and there's Gajano slow there. He just had a moment coming out of Tozer. The very odd move. I think spotted as by producer Robin, a spin coming out of Tozer there. Gajano was running 10th before losing a front wing, pushing hard to try and get that place back. In the meantime, here's Filip Puška on the medium tyres, looking, I'd imagine, to run those to the end of the race. Gap coming down to Kevin Peters. Peters still has to stop. The important thing for Peters is, can he make sure he gets it back out ahead of Peckley, or is he going to have to make the move on the road using a tyre offset? He will be switching to medium tyres. Obviously, the less time he has to spend on them, the more he can push them, the greater the tyre offset, especially with Peckley being on hards that are over 10 laps old already. There could be an interesting fight between them, but would be 4th place. Puška, he's looking at a net P3. But it does make you wonder, how hard is Peters going to fight Puška, knowing what the ultimate battle is going to be, him versus Peckley. Puška is charging forward. Back marker in the way. Potenza hopefully going to dive out of the way before Vatsa 1. Absolutely not, it seems. It's going to be a frustrating Ravazza 2. Get out of the way now, though. The gap is still down, though, to around a second between Puška and Peters. Been remarkably unsurprised at how well Kevin Peters is doing on his debut. Peters, involved with the WMSC from its inception. Has not ever been in a race situation, has spent lots of time in and around these cars, has been a team boss this year. A very experienced racer in his own right. So when he says, I'm expecting top 5, I very much believe that. He's on for that this afternoon. Still remains to be seen where in the top 5. Filip Puška, though, looming down. How difficult is Kevin Peters going to make this? Puška has a little look to Variante Alta. Probably not the ideal place for it. Ravazza 1 might be, though. Tucked right up behind the rear wing. Looks like Puška's going to wait. Oh, he might have to wait longer, though. A little bit of a squirm under braking behind Peters. Can he make the move down the start-finish straight? Vanguard is very good in a straight line, and actually this might be quite difficult. And as we've seen other drivers do this afternoon, Filip Puška might have to get a little bit creative. Doesn't have to push too hard, knowing that Peters definitely has to stop. To be fair, he's going to be running quite a long time on his medium tyres, so ideally he probably doesn't want to wear them out either. So if anything, does he just sit in behind rather than wreck his medium tyres? Because P3 is looking pretty safe, it has to be said, even if he has to sit behind Kevin Peters for a few laps. Or is he going to push hard and then conserve to the end? He's undoubtedly got the overall pace on Peters in clear air, especially with the tyre offset. But it's the fact that that Vanguard has got such good straight line speed. It's going to be difficult. He's very close this time around. John Polaro picking up a game penalty there, it seems, either track limits or pit lane speeding. Philip Pushka, though, basically pushing Kevin Peters along the main straight. He goes for it, and I think Peters thinks, you know what, not my fight. Very bold move from Pushka, gets it done. And now he can run clear. He's got 16 seconds up the road to Axel Laflamme. His tyres are newer, but he's on the softer compound. So it'll be interesting to see if Pushka does think he can close that gap to Axel Laflamme. In the meantime, Harley Self, we've seen a few times this afternoon. He's coming up to Gustavo Fragoto. Self is pushing Infernal Void. And again, he's going to try and make this work. And that's another superb move around the outside into Tamburello. Beautifully done by Harley Self. Some very nice moves being made this afternoon. And immediately the commentator's curse strikes. And a very nice pirouette as well from Harley Self. But unfortunately, it does mean he's going to have to overtake Gustavo Fragoto again. Such a shame. Hero through Tamburello. Villain out of Villeneuve. Going to have to run that gap. It's only a couple of seconds, which means we'll get to see it again. Get to see that move all over again very, very soon. But just an update in terms of stoppers. So Kevin Peters is still yet to stop in the top 10. The gap is down to 15 seconds, which means he will almost certainly lose out for Topekli. The question is, will the tyre offset for Peters be enough for him to catch and pass him towards the end? That will be the interesting one. We've also got Misha Smith, who's yet to stop as well, up in 7th. There's quite a gap back to Aaron Curtis, who incidentally also need to stop. So Smith still might end up in the points. Curtis might not, though. There is quite a queue of cars not too far behind him. He's got 2 cars within 10 seconds of him. But again, of them, I should say. Tyre offset, though. How will it come in? Oh, we've got a car without a front wing there, was that? Or did I just missee that? That lucky Hamish. Joubert. It is. Joubert without a front wing again. And what started as such a promising looking afternoon for him has turned, unfortunately. And Joubert will be stopping for another repair that may well take him outside the top 20. Polaro, in the meantime, in the pits. Self. Already back with Fragoto. Up towards Ravazza we go. An instant between Murno and Villami there that was for blue flags. No further action on that one. So Murno having to deal with traffic, but 21 seconds. He's got a little time to do so. In the meantime, is it going to be rinse and repeat for Harley Self? Basically, is the moves done for the braking zone. And Self continues to push forward. We head towards Villeneuve. Let's hope he doesn't drop it again. Not this time. place got to 13th. 23 seconds though up the road to Meneghetti. A long way to go. In the meantime, Gino Gagliano was in 10th. Started back in 21st after qualifying 11th due to the 10-place grid penalty. Inherits 10th off Curtis. Curtis finally stopping. Gagliano has managed to get back to where he was. Oh, there's a car off in turn 1. I think has just turned back around again. I think that was a back marker. Berliot. Unfortunate afternoon for Maxime Berliot after 2 incredible super sub performances where he scored points. This is the first time he won't score points in WMSC. It's been a rough afternoon for him in the Velocita. Yes, Gagliano in 10th, so qualified 11th, demoted to 21st, knocked back down the order from 10th due to losing a front wing, and now back up in 10th again. It's a yo-yo afternoon for the SCMM team boss. But as it stands, is in the place. Oh, there's another car off at Variante Alta there. Peters is finally in the pits for his scheduled stop. And Peckley comfortably through. The car just ahead pulling in. And interestingly, my timing screen is showing that Kevin Peters has strapped on the soft tyre. This is very interesting indeed. So, 1, does he think he's going to be able to take those soft tyres to the end? Or is it more of a try and take a fastest lap off Murno? Or is it he thinks he can get the tyres to the end and he wants the best possible rubber to try and get back at Peckley to catch and pass with the tyre offset? First time we've seen the soft tyre all afternoon from anyone. It's a bold move. Well, let's see what happens. And just like that, everyone in the top 10 has stopped. It'll be interesting to see how the gap comes down now. 15.2 seconds at the moment. Meantime, we join Jean Palaro. Palaro is closing in on Maximilian Jaeger. Again, the fall guy for the afternoon seems to be Maximilian Jaeger, the main object that everyone seems to be passing. Vela is in the pits, so it's interesting. Knezovic has stopped for a second time. Vela is also in the pits, and I believe stopping a second time as well. So some people who took those early stops on the medium tyre have had to make it a 2-stop race. Vela definitely had to anyway because he did 2 medium stints. So will we see him jump onto the softs? Potentially. Palaro now within half a second. So we're on board with Vela. And yeah, it does look like he has gone... No, that can't be right. Surely not. I'm going to double check my records to make sure that I've not misnoted that he was on a hard tyre at some point, but I am sure he's had 2 medium stints. Vela back out in 6th, 10 seconds ahead of Misha Smith. Timing screen does show it's mediums as well. I will just confirm that this is indeed what's occurring. In the meantime, Palaro caught Jaeger. Ooh, and finally it's happened. Oh, and Jaeger in the wall. Oh, we've had such good racing wheel to wheel without any big incidents that we've seen anyway. And it's been good in through turn 1. But there's finally contact. And I think Palaro just stuck his nose up into a gap that's always going to close. And Jaeger in the wall. Jaeger will have to go get that repaired. So just checking. Denny Vella. There might have been a timing screen issue on my part. Yes, so he did run a hard tire in the middle stint. So he's okay, but he has, of course, made it a 2-stop race. So yes, Denny Vella finishing on the medium tire after running a hard middle stint. Apologies there. Meantime, Harley South in the other Infernal Void. Pushing. And we jump on board now with Gino Gagiano. Yeah, a few people stopping earlier, not able to extend, so there's people having to do extra pit stops here. Gagiano at least is going to be on fresh rubber to attack. What's the gap going to be to the points, though? And will he lose another spot to Benton Reader? Out we go. There's Benton Reader in the background. That's critical. And then it's going to all be about what the gap is. Up the points. Oh, and we have yellow flags in the final sector. Race controllers just put out a warning. That is clearly sustained for some reason. Oh, and I think it is Jaeger just trying to get himself back to the pits. There we go. Jaeger getting repaired. Benton Reader, Gagiano, I should say, is 10 seconds away from Curtis. So, some work to do. Oh, and we have a full course yellow. Full course yellow has been called. Everyone onto the pit limiter. I'm not sure why this is. Because as we saw... Oh, no, there it is. It was not the Beta Giulia. That is the Magnum. Which Magnum is it? It's Marcos Angeli. And that is going to be only our second retirement of the afternoon. And that Magnum has just given people an opportunity to roll the dice, maybe. There's some gaps on there, so will people throw some fresh rubber on? How long will this Code 80 run for? Will they bunch up the pack for a full safety car? We shall see. We've got Knezovic and Smith running very close together. 2 HRTs. Benton Reed has rolled the dice for the pit. Self is in as well. Pushka is in. Obviously, there are some big gaps, so it's a long way to try and kind of close it in. But obviously, you might as well have the advantage on tyres if you can get it. It might give you an opportunity. These last few laps. 15 laps to go. Soft tyres for Pushka. A last-ditch attempt to try and reel in Axel Laflamme. How long will this last? So looking at the track map, Murno is probably in the final sector. Whether he wants to make the call to put on some fresh rubber. In fact, he's just going past the car in question, so he's heading down to the Rivazzas. Obviously, the full course yellow could end at any point. Heckley's made the call. It makes sense. He's now going to have some fresh rubber to defend against Peters. This is exactly what Kevin Peters won't have wanted. Is he going to be able to get in and out? And Jelly's been told to retire the car. Does Peters get track position? I don't know. Here comes Murno. What's his decision going to be? He goes in. He's going to go in. Axel Flam is probably just coming up to the Ravazzas himself. You know, he's not even that far along. He's up to Variante Alta. He might lose out here, depending on how long this goes for. Now, interestingly, Peckley. What tyre has Peckley put on? He's put on the mediums. He's not even gone for the softs. Fresh tyres, but not most aggressive set. And the of course yellow is ending. That has timed perfectly for Lucas Murno. He gets to strap on a fresh set of mediums. He was looking pretty comfortable out the front anyway, but now he's got medium tyres on to run to the end. He will surely consolidate the fastest lap point for this as well. And obviously the point not for the championship, but for the separate competition. And he will surely have the win. In the meantime, as we resume racing, the HRTs are right together. Smith and Knezovic. Knezovic, slightly fresher tyres for virtue of having two stop. But both running the mediums. Knezovic is getting closer and closer. How hard will this fighting go? Oof. Well, Smith certainly wasn't letting him through. And Knezovic fancies this up towards Villeneuve. They're going to go wheel to wheel. Gustavo Frigoto has just been given a 5-second time penalty for ignoring blue flags. Another penalty for him this afternoon. In the meantime, Gajano is fighting Benson Reader. On the fringes of the points. 16 seconds up the road to Curtis. Need a little bit of help if they want to pick up a point, but Gajano just trying to complete the recovery from the earlier damage. Oh, and he's going to make... Oh, it's a bold move to the inside. He's got to try and do it, though, with Benson Reader on soft tyres. Oh, and Gajano just out of rhythm from trying to make the move. Gets on the curb, spins it. In the meantime, Knezovic does get the move done on Smith. Forward we go. Good battle between the two without losing places. That is exactly what HRT will want to see. In the meantime, Lucas Murno, 1 minute 16.9. And for context, no one else has even been in the 117s yet as Jaeger's off the road. He joins without issue. Meantime, Berlier had a much messier afternoon compared to his other two appearances in WMSC. Trying to find Gabriel Joubert. This afternoon also took a fall from grace. Oh, but Smith isn't done, it seems. Smith has stuck with Knezovic throughout that last lap and might try and return the favour. We charge up to turn one. There is a back marker just up ahead. Here comes Smith. Going to get sent to the outside. Knezovic hangs on. Ooh, and these two might be set for 11 laps of consistent duelling. Great to see them fighting. Let's hope they don't ruin what will be a decent points pickup for them this afternoon. Considering United Racing Club are the nearest team to them, and Curtis is currently only on for 1 point. This is a good, important haul for them. keeping up 4th place. The concern at one point was Lucky Hamish scoring big points and getting themselves a little bit further up this afternoon. While Denny Vella is ahead of them, Gabriel Juba has not been able to deliver on the early promise. But if the performance is still there, Lucky Hamish might not be going away just yet. But it's a much better lap from Knežević, just over a second or around a second between them coming out of the second Rivazza. Knežević might be clear this time around. Now, the gaps we do have to keep an eye on, though, in these last 11 laps are between 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 5th. This man, Kevin Peters, on the super soft tyre. I don't know why I did the super. It is the softest one, so I suppose it is super in that sense. It's just the soft tyre. And he is trying to reel in Gabriel Peckley. Peckley, though, did use the virtual safety car to put on a fresh set of mediums. Oh, and it's another full course yellow. Another full course yellow has just been called. And is this going to give some other opportunities for people to make the decision? And it is Maximilian Jaeger. And it will be upgraded to a safety car. Because of where Maximilian Jaeger is stopped, this will become a safety car. And the field is about to close up. So watch people dive into the pits now. Laflamme is in. Pushka is in. Pushka didn't long stop. But it's the obvious choice. Get the super softs on. Here comes Pushka. I'm surprised Pushka didn't go opposite. His softs are still pretty new. But he's opted for some fresh rubber as well. Murno seemingly has stayed out. Maybe the timing just caught him off. Yeah, I think so, considering he's coming through Acqua Minerale. He probably wasn't in the ideal place. The disadvantage of being so far ahead means this time it hasn't fallen his way. Thing is, though, how long will Race Control wait before upgrading it? He still might have time to get round and get some super softs on himself. Been a pretty comfortable afternoon for Lucas Murno, but he's going to be made to just work for it a little bit again at the end. A little test of his nerve. Now, have Peckley or Peters gone in again? I don't think they're round yet. Peckley's in. Surely this is softs for him. Peters will probably want a fresh set of softs as well. Or does he go track position? No, it's going to be a straight fight between those two. That's going to be a battle look out for. Laflamme versus Pushka and Peckley versus Peters, all on fresh rubber. Lucas Murno has enough time to get in the pits. So any threat from Laflamme might just be neutralised. Laflamme. They're basically at opposite ends of the circuit, because obviously when Laflamme was coming out of the pits, we cut to Murno and he was going through Acqua Minerale, and now, you know, the roles are very much reversed. And safety car has been called. So Murno is safely out the pits. He's already coming through Villeneuve. So now pit limiter can come off, and everyone can catch up to the car ahead on the road. Now, Murno, I think that might be a slight graphical glitch, because my timing sheet is showing he has indeed gone for the softs. So I think give it a second and we will see an update. He will not be on the medium tyres. That will be a soft tyre. Counteract the fresh softs that everyone has put on behind in that top 5 group. There we go. So we just wait now for field to catch up Lucas Murno. We sit with the leader. There is the caution up towards Aqua Minerale. A couple of back markers are the first to find him. So over the 62-lap race, we are on lap 54. So obviously we have to wait for the fields to group up. And there's going to be then the necessity of allowing lapped cars to unlap themselves once. So we have the appropriate order. So by the time we get going, we might only have 4 or 5 racing laps. It might be a true sprint finish here. And let's take it, and just worth noting further down the order how this is shook out for those cars looking for like 9th, 10th, those final 2 points paying positions. Curtis is in there with medium tyres at the minute, but then you've got Meneghetti, Vincent Reader, Gajano, Self, Rigoto, Machado, all right behind on the soft tyre. And they're all going to be together on the restart. So it's going to be a hell of a fight from 9th to 14th, 15th for maybe those final 2 points positions. Also, Knežević is on the medium. He got past his teammate Smith. Smith has switched to the soft and is going to be right behind. So there's going to be a few very interesting battles playing out once we get going again, but we do need to get everyone together, because obviously it's then the issue of sorting the field out. Assuming race control will let the lapped cars unlap themselves, which I think they will, they usually do. These two just coming to get the end of the queue. Through Tozer, and there's the queue just there. So 15th place, Mateus Machado is the last straggler that really needs to catch up, that's on his own. And he's not that far behind, so he's about to come through Tozer himself. So expect the call very shortly for either unlapped cars or we go green. See what the decision is. Maximilian Jaeger has been told he can retire the car. It's been an eventful afternoon for Maximilian Jaeger. We've seen a lot of him, it has to be said. So, here comes the call. So now they are beginning the unlapping procedure. The top 5 has basically been told to keep to the right, and Vela will unlap as he is 6th. There he goes. Then Knežević next. It's a proper unpicking of the field. So this is going to take a little bit of unshuffling. Here comes Curtis now. Obviously everyone's got to try and keep it's all fine on the straights, but obviously everyone's going to try and keep it together through the corners. And Benton Reader now has called, so we're down to 11th. So we are on lap 56 of 62. It might be quite tight to get going on lap 57, but I'm pretty sure lap 58 at the latest is when we will start racing again, which would be 5 laps. 5-lap sprint to the end. Depending on how quickly these cars get round, there is an outside chance that we get going on lap 57 and get 6 laps. But let's see. Still only just called 14th Gustavo Frigoto to unlap themselves. Got Machado coming through now. I think by the time we get round 57 is probably going to be out of the question. There's Mello. Gabriel Hubert. Cole Bulio. And now Villami as well. He's going to have to just wait to get through Variante Alta. And it has to be said, that was quite expertly done. Very, very routine, very well ordered. And now we are just literally waiting on the lap cars to come round and join the end of the queue. We will be lined up in order and we will be able to go racing. Very nicely done, very well behaved from everyone. Very clear instruction from race direction. That could have become a very messy unpicking, but it was very smartly done. So we just wait for everyone to form up. It's going to take a little bit. Vela, remember, was the first driver to be allowed to unlap themselves. Still haven't caught the end of the queue. They are about to. The front five are just coming through Villeneuve. So I think we should be comfortably okay to resume racing on lap 58. We'll have a 5-lap sprint. See the field is lapped as it stands up to 9th. Not quite as extreme as back in Hungary, which I believe was up to like the top 3, if I remember rightly. Not quite as dominant from Lucas Murno, but it has been another very strong showing. Just has to manage, essentially, a 5-lap sprint to the end. Top 5 all on softs, fresh softs as well. And then there will be a scramble from 9th onwards for those final places. Curtis leading on mediums with softs behind him queued up. That would be very interesting indeed. This is the last group of cars to form up. So, with us coming through Variante Alta, I think the call might come. Or will we be forced to wait another lap? We're coming up to the Rivat, as it might be too late. Are we going to have to do one more lap? Still nothing from race control. I think we're already well into Sector 3 here. Frustratingly, we might have to just wait one more lap. So it will only be 4 laps. So we will get going on lap 59 of 62. It's going to be a handful of very tense battles amongst this field. Murno has got the pace. He just needs to hold his nerve. And it has now been called. From Sector 3 onwards, Lucas Murno will set the pace. We will go green for 4 laps. Lucas Murno just needs to hold his nerve. Reminder, no overtaking until the start finish as well from race control. This could be very interesting. Obviously, Smith doesn't have to worry too much about behind him because there's a lap. I think it's a lap from the leader. Hang on, I just have to check the interval. Oh yes, Curtis is indeed a lap down. So Smith is safe from attack. And Curtis certainly won't want to get caught in any of the traffic behind, as he might fancy a pop at his teammate here, being on the softer tyre. So, pace control will go to Lucas Murno from Sector 3, which is just at the entry of Variante Alta, which we can see now. Here we go. Through Variante Alta we go. Does the foot go down yet? Flam is very close. Trying to just, whatever opportunity, psych out Lucas Murno. Still not gone yet. A big run down to turn 1. And midway through the Ravazzas, Murno goes. A little bit of a twitch off, but he's got the foot down. And that is a good restart from Lucas Murno. Pushka, though, will he have a shot at La Flamme? La Flamme does close up. Smith is going past Knežević round the outside. Brilliant move. Clinical stuff from Smith. Smith is through. Now, we are racing again. Safety car is not out, just to be clear. We are back and running. Frigoto, in the meantime, is in the top 10. Out of nowhere, with the afternoon he's had. Need to confirm that he's served all the penalties he's been given, but Frigoto on the road is in the top 10. Is there a shot at first point for Bravo Snow Shatton? Vela, in the meantime, Vela's closer to Peters. Vela might cause Kevin Peters some problems. This is not what Peters was wanting at all. But Smith has also now got a shot at Vela. Self, in the meantime, looking for back-to-back points. But with two different teams. He scored for Velocita last time. Frigoto might be in trouble. Self, who's made so many solid moves, suddenly, but there's Meneghetti. Meneghetti and Self hit. Side by side. Oh, Meneghetti again. Self is off. Oh, and Self's in the wall. Self is in the wall. And that is such a shame that that's how it was going to end. And Benton Reed has had an incident. Benton Reed has been told to retire the car elsewhere as well. Oh, and there's a big crash. Big crash coming into Villeneuve. And that's both Velocitas. Big contact within a couple of corners. And what does race control do now? Full course yellow has been called. It has been such a strong afternoon for Infernal Void. Both their drivers making moves forward. Harley Self with an opportunity, then disappears. Meneghetti, who had otherwise been superb at making forward moves, but that move on the exit of Ravazzadu. And it's been called that the last 5 laps will be investigated after the race. That will have no bearing on the top 5, or I would say even the top 6. I think it's all kind of from 10th downwards that all of that has taken place. So I would say most of your points positions are okay. In fact, I think Frigoto, incredibly, who was under pressure initially, and then lost the 2 places to both Meneghetti and Self, now ends up back in 10th and might be all right, assuming he doesn't have any penalties left to serve. If he doesn't, that's a point. If he does, Meneghetti will take it, but Meneghetti might get penalised for the incident with Self. And then I'm not fully sure what happened. But a big collision further down the road with Palauro. And I'm not sure who else that was. Was it Joubert? I think. But or it might have been with the other Potenza. But Machado is there. Machado is running in the background. But what? They're just crazy. Here is Walami. Magnum running. We've got Joubert into the pits again. But Murno handles the restart. Laflamme holds Pushka. Peckley was actually quite safe from Peters. Peters was probably more worried about Vela behind. And unfortunately, because of the timing of that incident, the race will finish under full course yellow, and sometimes it can't be helped. There's nothing you can do. I much prefer this to, not that it's really an option in this scenario, but when it's done in real life, the whole, well, let's red flag it and make sure we have 2 laps of racing. No, sometimes the timing of an incident means you have to finish under caution, and it has unfortunately come that way this afternoon. However, it doesn't drastically change that top 5. Lucas Murno, very much the deserved winner, ahead of Axel Laflamme and Philip Pushka. Gabriel Peckley will take 4th off Kevin Peters. Peters denied really a proper opportunity to attack. And it's been reiterated from race control again, last 5 laps to be investigated after the race. However, I don't think there were any issues that we saw concerning any of the top 9. So I would be fairly certain in saying that top 9 will stand. Dragoto, I think, don't think did anything wrong on that restart either. It's just whether he has an outstanding penalty that would affect his final position. If not, there's a very good chance Meneghetti will inherit it. But if Meneghetti is found to be guilty of the incident with Self, but if he gets penalised also, Machado may nick a point, unless Machado was caught up in anything. But you may see the car speeding up. Race control has just said that it will finish under safety car. So everyone is allowed to essentially kind of form up the queue behind Lucas Murno once again. And that will just get us round to the start-finish a little bit quicker. And Lucas Murno has started the 62nd and final lap. Oh yeah, apologies, Urukun. Yes, it is not round 8 in Hungary. It is in fact round 9 at San Marino, racing in Imola. And as you can see, the ending has not quite gone to plan. We just had a safety car restart with 4 laps to go. Then we've had to jump back under safety car as at the end of the first of those 4 laps, essentially chaos breaking out from 10th downwards. And we are finishing under safety car. But it gives us a chance to look at Lucas Murno, who we've not really seen this afternoon. He led away and has been pretty flawless. Very well done from him. It's an ominous pace. It's a huge opportunity for him in the Drivers' Championship. Obviously, Scuderia Cesario started the afternoon third. But it gives them a good fighting chance in the Constructors. Vanguard have at least maximised their points for the most part with Axel Flam. That was the target for him. Make sure you finish second. Kevin Peters, his debut in WMSC, he wanted top 5. He's got top 5. Maybe just missing out. That's a shot at 4th. But around the final corner comes Lucas Murno. And he wins the first WMSC race to take place in Imola. Very well done. It's Murno, Laflamme, Pushka, Peckley, Peters, Vela, Smith, Knezovic, Curtis, and I believe it is a first point for Gustavo Fragoto or Bravo Snow Shatton. And once that is confirmed, that will be every single team has now scored at least 1 point this season. It is a debut point for Bravo Snow Shatton as well. Gustavo Fragoto did not have an easy time of it this afternoon. So, race control has just asked for any incidents they wish to be investigated to get sent in. I'm sure there will be a couple of remonstrations from a few people, but no arguments about the winner. Lucas Murno goes back-to-back poles, back-to-back wins, and keeps the record of every time he's gotten a pole, he's gotten a win this season as well. Peckley, in the meantime, gets back-to-back 4th places. His 3rd 4th place finish of the season. Philip Pushka 3rd. Kevin Peters rounding out the top 5. Denny Vela could have threatened maybe for a top 5 himself, but a good result for him ahead of Misha Smith and Alexander Knezovic. Aaron Curtis is in 9th ahead of Gustavo Fragoto, which we believe is Bravo Snow Shatton's first point. Diogo Meneghetti had a very racy afternoon, but just misses out and may get penalised further. Mateus Machado is behind. Harley Self, unlucky, victim of that contact, but we'll see what race control says. Gino Gajano calling managed 14th ahead of Paolo Walami. Gabriel Jubert, once running at 5th, finishes 16th. Thiago Mella, 17th on debut ahead of Maxime Berlioz. The first time he doesn't score points in a WMSC race. DNFing along with Daniel Benton Reader, John Palauro, Maximilian Jaeger, Jean-Marc Angeli, and Dominic Rustemeyer. Our first retirement a long time ago now with a disconnect. So we are once again going to wait for the top 3, and we will catch up with them in just a moment. But a lot of overtaking action there. Not necessarily at the front of the field, but further down. And more than I was expecting, it has to be said. For Imola. But we will just wait for the drivers to move up. We've already got Axel in the waiting area. Be up with us in just a moment. Do bear with us. I imagine there's a few celebrations and remonstrations going on. And we will get going forward. In the meantime, I mean, I would say driver of the day. It's hard to pick anyone but Lucas Murno with such a dominant performance, but a very well done to Kevin Peters on nailing that top 5 on his debut. Gustavo Frigoto, very happy with his first point indeed. Everyone is now up in the waiting area. And we come to that awkward moment where I can't physically move them from the waiting area into our chat, so we wait for a mysterious hand to do it for us. In the meantime, though, next race out in 3 weeks' time, we head to Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. That is a circuit that Lucas Murno likes quite a lot. Could it be 3 on the bounce for him? Or will upgrades come to help stop it? For the second half of the season, quite a few tracks new to the championship. Baku, Abu Dhabi, Kuala Lumpur. That run of 3 there will be very interesting to see. Great to see Sepang back. And then we'll finish in what is a traditional final 2 races of Suzuka and Interlagos. Again, apologies for the delaying in getting the top 3 up to us. Should hopefully be with us in a moment. Can't remember if I actually gave up last time. Or did we have to go without them? I think we gave up. So we'll give it a few minutes. But do bear with us. I don't know if anyone from WMSC admin is watching the stream, but can you just move the top 3 up to us? Because I can't do it. Please and thank you. Interesting note from Michael Cosbow, one of the league administrators. Result is not final, in bold lettering. Now, again, I'm fairly confident the top 3 is clear from that. I don't think there are any controversial incidents there. But yeah, there may be some changes. Max Heyman, Cesario team boss in the chat there. Well done by Lucas. Kept Ulheg knowing what advantage he is gaining with Poland's absence. Absolutely golden opportunity for him. He took it and kept his head on the restart as well. Did everything he needed to do, and very confidently, it has to be said.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved
to your channel. They are with us. The top 3
User was
are
moved to your
with
channel.
us now, and we will start with the race winner, Lucas Murno. Lucas, congratulations. The carrying the performance through from Hungary. Obviously, it seemed like it was all very much in hand up until the late safety car, and you made to work for it at the end. But how confident were you behind the wheel today? Because it looked pretty confident from the outside.
Well, the car felt really good on the race pace, even more on the race pace than the quali. But the quali got a good ride time, and the start would be crucial. So even this track would be hard to overtake. So I felt really quicker with the car, and as I said, felt great. So it puts a good perspective for the remaining of season. And yeah, the VSC situation caught me a little bit of fear, but I had to keep my head cool until the last part. And the fact that Pollins missed the race today helped a little bit. So I went with a good advantage for Spa. So let's see how how it will goes. Some teams will make some upgrades for Spa as well. I was aware, so I think the next ones will be more closer. So I need to prepare myself. I had to enjoy the opportunity this race, so I can think better for the next ones because it will be more tight.
No, absolutely. You've taken the opportunity while it was there. Spa seems to be a track you enjoy. It was obviously the place you first, I think you first won, I believe, as well in WMSC. I think it was the site of your first podium. Obviously, you mentioned other teams are going to be bringing upgrades to make it closer, but how do you feel kind of going into that track? Are you confident, or is it going to be hard to see until the teams reveal their performance?
Yeah, I would need to see how things will go for Spa in between the upgrades because the most upgrades will be more harder to overtake. So it will be crucial to understand how the things will go. I like Spa. I had some great memories on Spa, so I think we can match a good opportunity for in there today. Because in the 2 weeks. So let's see how the things will go for Spa, since it will be a good track for overtaking.
Absolutely. Lucas, congratulations. Very well done.
Thank you.
Axel, to you now. Good to see you back on the podium. Second time this season. I spoke with Kevin Peters, team boss, before the start of the race. He was like, I want Axel to be second. Were you confident of that, or were you feeling the pressure with Pushka behind you?
Um, it was a relatively no man's landy kind of race for most of it. The late full course yellow kind of put me in a bit of a bind because I didn't manage to get to pit. So Philip was chasing me down pretty substantially at the end. But yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't have a chance to catch Lucas, and Philip was kind of similar pace to me, but just dropping back a bit. So I kind of just tried to not make a mistake, not crash, and bring it home.
So I'm guessing you'd kind of settled for your second trying kind of pretty early. It was just a case of management for the most part today.
Yeah, I tried to push a little bit at the beginning and made a few mistakes, and then just decided it wasn't really worth the risk, and it would have been very difficult to overtake as well.
No, absolutely. And kind of similar question to you then about Spa, obviously coming into there. How are you feeling about next week?
Well, I don't want to be overconfident, but Spa is probably my favourite track. And I've never raced there in WMSC yet, but it's probably the track I've done the most laps at. So I'm looking forward to it. I think Spa's a track that everybody kind of knows. So not only am I hoping for a good event, but I think everybody will be kind of at a good pace. It'll be quite tight, I reckon.
Oh, well, that does sound very much like something to look forward to. Congratulations, Axel. Very well done.
Thank you very much.
Philip, finally to you. That's your third place of the season, second one in a row. Obviously hoping to push on and push further. How are you feeling about your current results at the minute? Because obviously great that you're so consistent. You've only missed out on the podium in one race that you've participated in. So brilliant consistency. But how are you kind of feeling about your current run of form?
I think the form is okay, not awesome, but not bad. I think the car wasn't up to speed this race, and the setup wasn't the best, and all in all, pretty disappointed about the pace. I mean, the result speaks P3. It's okay, but speaking about the pace, I was pretty much nowhere. Like there was no chance, absolutely no chance to get any more than third place. So let's keep improving for the next race.
Absolutely. And do you feel like there's things in the teams in your locker that maybe can help try and turn this around and bridge that gap to those, getting obviously beyond third?
Yeah, I mean there are probably a little bit more ways coming up that are going to be better for us, but at this minute, Lucas is in very good form, has a great car, so this race especially was in a league of his own. So yeah, congrats to him, and need to raise up my game, need to raise up the car needs to raise up its game, and the setup obviously on my side as well. So lots of things to improve on and get better in.
Absolutely, and best of luck with doing so. Another great result regardless. Well done, Philip.
Yeah, thanks.
And just the confirmation came through there from Michael Cosba, who said before that obviously race result was not final, but as we kind of suspected, top 3 has been confirmed in that order. So yes, that is your podium as given. So, in a few weeks' time, we head off to Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium for round 10. Upgrades from other teams are coming. It is still a 3-way fight in both titles, but Lucas Murno very much goes there with the upper hand, whilst the constructors could still go any way. I do hope you will join us for it. Thank you so much for watching this afternoon. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you in Spa. Thanks very much.